I bought this vintage Seiko 5 on eBay and I've worn it for a week and it hasn't missed a beat. It's kept perfect time. It's 40 years old. Seiko 5s are great. I wish I'd discovered them earlier. We're coming up to the 60th anniversary this year, I believe. I think it was 1963. And there's such a huge range of cases, specs, colours. I love Seiko 5s. I didn't realise how much I would enjoy Seiko 5s this time last year, but each one I get puts a smile on my face, and I've got 5 now. So what I'll do in this video, I'll go through each one. None of them cost more than £120, and the cheapest was £26, and I wasn't expecting much. I was very pleasantly surprised. Seiko got everything right with a Seiko 5, and increasingly I find now, of all the watches I've got, if I'm just popping out or I'm just hanging about the house, the Seiko 5s are so easy and straightforward and neat to just pop on. Now this Seiko 5, this is the SNKL 45, and it's one of the most popular of the modern case designs. It's got the recessed crown at 4 o'clock. This is 37mm, which is a perfect size. So it's not the tiny vintage size, and it's not the more modern 40mm size. It's right in the middle. It looked small on my wrist on the bracelet, so I had to change it to the strap. It's 11mm thick. It's got a display case back underneath there. It shows the 7S26 movement. SNKL 45. It's been going a few years, and of all the hundreds to choose from, this dial for me was quite classic, simple, with a little bit of quirkiness and a highlighted second hand. And this really sums up Seiko 5s for me. It's not tiny, it's 37mm. A perfect size, still a bit small for me on a bracelet, so I did need to put it on a NATO. You can see how it wears. So Seiko launched the Seiko 5 back in the 60s, 1963 I think, as a straightforward, good value, automatic watch, starter watch really. They've always been good value. There's 5 key features of a Seiko 5 that apply to each watch. It had to have an element of water resistance, that's the first one. A robust case, that was the second one. An automatic movement. A day-date display. And I can't remember the 5th one. There's always one I forget. But it was basically an all-round automatic watch package. Now this little gem, this was never supposed to look like this. This is a vintage case from 1977, and it originally looked like this. But the movement didn't work. It had a 6309 movement, which had probably ran fine for 40 years. But I had to replace the movement, and in the process of replacing the movement, I ruined the original dial. So I had to get a new dial, new hands. It never had a strap. So I've made this. I'm going to do a video about how I made this and the pitfalls to avoid. But if I just shake it, I'll just give it a quick shake. You'll see this, how the 7S26 movement starts there with the second hand. I'm very proud of this watch because it's a one-off. I made it, and it was never supposed to exist. This is 36mm, classic vintage size. 36. I do need the NATO strap because my wrists are quite large, and this watch with a NATO strap doesn't look small at all. They're quite straightforward little watches. Everyone should have one. This should be the starter watch that you give your kids, your grandkids, so that they can experience their first automatic movement in a little watch that looks good, it's rugged, it's got a little bit of waterproofing, and a lot of the newer ones have a display case back, so your kids and your grandkids can watch their first automatic movement. This is a lovely little gem. I've only had it a week. It was the cheapest of the lot. It was £26 plus a fiver, shipped from India. And what a lovely little watch this is. The only reason I got it was because I liked the look of it. I didn't think it would work particularly well, but it's brilliant. This never loses a second. I've worn it constantly for a week. This is 35mm. So very small, but I think it looks good on wrist. So this Seiko 5, this came from India. It was £26 this on eBay, plus £5 delivery. I've worn it every day for a week. I've had it a week. It's my latest one. It hasn't missed a second. It's got the 6309 movement, which ran between 1976 and 1988. A bulletproof little movement. Some of these, well, this one, have been seen to run for over 35 years without a problem, without a service. Out of all of them, I seem to have impeccable reliability and timekeeping. The movements inside them, I believe, are quite loosely calibrated according to Seiko, plus or minus 30 seconds a day kind of thing. But I'll find that with all of my Seiko 5s, they keep amazingly good time. Now this little Seiko 5, I was never supposed to have this really. I needed a replacement movement for the blue one that I built, and I wanted another 6309 movement from the 70s and 80s. And this Seiko 5 was only £29 on eBay. And when I got it, I thought, actually, it's too good to strip. And this keeps great time as well. So I've just kept this. This is the smallest of all my Seiko 5s. This is only 34mm. So they did get slightly bigger over time. I seem to have the full range. I've got 34, 35, 36, 37 and 40. It's funny, I've gravitated towards a 39 or 40mm case size for a watch on my wrist, 18.5cm wrist, 7.4 inches. But these Seiko 5s, the more I wear them, the small diminutive size doesn't seem to be a problem for me. I was quite late to the world of Seiko 5s. These little marvels. Now this Seiko 5, this is the more modern range. SNKE, I think. But these are, in my opinion, these are going slightly away from... Everybody seems to love these. But for me, I think these are going slightly away from the original concept of the Seiko 5. This is more expensive, this. They started off around £250, these, but they've been out a couple of years, and this was 185 brand new. I've scratched the bezel, so what I'll probably have to do is sort of sand or scratch the rest of it so it blends in. If anybody knows a good way of doing that, they can let me know. It's the largest Seiko 5 I have at 40mm width. So for me, it is a good all-rounder. It's rugged. Display case back. It has all the concepts of the original Seiko 5, the 5 concepts. But it's not quite as cute. Increasingly, I think, sometimes I think, this is all you really need.